Watching and connected, but it's never enough. Talking with our friends about our favorite things. TV shows and movies and some random swearing. Hey! 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 This is the pretty, this is the little, this is the pretty little podcast.
Hello, all you pretty little people. This is the Pretty Little Podcast. I'm your host, Deadbeat Chad. With me is just Jess.
Hello.
And this is the first episode in season 3 of the Pretty Little Podcast. We've decided that each season is only going to be, 21 episodes, I
Yeah,
think?
the first two were 21 each, so
Yeah. So,
keep it going.
and with this season, we decided to have a theme.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's new for season 3, Deadbeat Chad?
Yeah, this this season is going to be all animation.
Hell yeah.
And it could be anything from TV shows to, I don't know, movies, cartoon shorts. It can be anything that's live action mixed with cartoons or computer animated. We just wanted to do anything that is just animation because animation is something that you and I both love. And this gives me an excuse to go back and rewatch those TV shows from the early 90s that I really liked. One of which we are talking about today.
It's true.
What are we talking about today, Jess?
Well, we're talking about The Critic, Chad.
The Critic.
Mm-hmm. And in case you didn't know, The Critic is an American animated sitcom revolving around the life of a New York film critic, J. Sherman, voiced by John Lovitz. It was created by writing partners Al Jean and Mike Rice, who had previously worked as writers and showrunners on the 3rd and 4th seasons of The Simpsons. 23 episodes of The Critic were produced. It was first broadcast on ABC in 1994 and finished its original run on Fox in 1995.
And it also did come back in 2000 for webisodes that we will briefly discuss because we just got through watching
we
those.
just watched them.
Yeah. So The Critic is a show that I definitely remember watching as a kid.
Yeah.
This was in the early 90s. It was no secret that The Simpsons just became a powerhouse, especially by 94 when this premiered.
Oh, dude, they were all of culture.
Yes.
It was
The Simpsons was already well into its probably 3rd or 4th season at this point.
Well, they worked, the creators of this.
Right. So the Simpsons were already hitting their stride. They were already this massive success. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the producers of this show being attached to The Critic, it already had a pedigree attached to it with very high expectations.
Right.
Why the hell this was on ABC and not Fox to begin with, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do know that they were just definitely not interested in having this compete with The Simpsons.
Well, from what I understand in my very brief overview of the wiki, which is always 100% true, they purposefully set out to try and make a show as different from The Simpsons as possible.
Well, and in a lot of ways they succeed, but then in a lot of ways they also are leaning on that crutch.
Well, yeah.
Especially with voice actors returning to this that were from The Simpsons.
Well.
And then the producers of The Simpsons producing this.
Yeah, sure. No, I just mean from, I don't know, the way it's laid out to the characters. And this isn't nearly as zany as The Simpsons is overall. It is a little more grounded, but to me it also has what I think of now as Family Guy cutaway type things a lot more. This is obviously far before Family Guy, but there's a lot of
I wouldn't be surprised if Family Guy didn't get, some influence from this show.
No, but what
for all that this only lasted for 2 seasons, it really did kind of I remember me and my friends all watching this show. Mm-hmm. Anytime I would go over to a friend's house or whatever, I would record episodes of everything on VHS when I was a kid. And The Critic was one of those things. And I definitely remember just taking stacks of, home recorded VHS tapes over to a sleepover or something. And we would put them on and watch them. And it's anybody who watched this loved it. The problem was I just don't think many people were watching it.
I don't know. I didn't grow up religiously seeing this or anything. I mean, it really wasn't around for all that long. I do remember watching some episodes at my dad's house, but I think it was more the 2nd season when it was on Fox. So it was probably, I don't know when it aired on Fox as far as the time slot.
Well, it moved over to Fox I think it was in the middle of the 1st season, but it was in 95.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
So they were whatever it was.
Their second season, I think they were like Fox, 8. Because there's a big difference in like the animation style between seasons 1 and 2, and I like season 1 better.
I think it made it on ABC like 8 episodes before they moved it over to Fox. And I can only assume it was due to low ratings. According to Jay Sherman himself, it was because he stole candy from the Olsen twins, and they have powerful friends in Hollywood.
Well, that's why they got canceled from Fox, too. Yeah, I don't know. They did say that it was canceled after the second season, despite the ratings improving. So, I mean, that's all I know about as to why.
Well, you also have to look at the state of Fox at this time, right? I mean, they were kind of oversaturated with everything from, like we mentioned, The Simpsons. I mean, Married with Children was still on the air. In Living Color, Martin. There were just so many shows that were on Fox that they were really oversaturated. And
well, and again, this isn't a zany, right? Like a lot of those,
right?
Are
and they already had a Simpsons,
right?
And
Jay Sherman was on The Simpsons.
Yes, when they moved the show from ABC to Fox, they did a crossover episode with The Simpsons to promote him.
Yeah. Even though they didn't have to make him yellow because, like, there are plenty of guest stars on The Simpsons.
It was very strange to tune into The Simpsons and see Jay Sherman in that form, which was vastly different.
It was.
And then to tune into his show and then... Do I like that episode of The Simpsons? It's fine. I mean, I like Jay Sherman, so I liked the episode. It was okay.
Yeah, this is one of the shows that, I mean, we've talked about several instances of things like this on the podcast, but you and I quote this all the time.
Yes. Yes, this is another one of those shows where you could just quote things from it because it's so absurd. A lot of this is absurd. And the strange thing about this show really is that it is so much of like just a perfect time capsule of that time while also being kind of ahead of its time. Because a lot of these movies that he's parodying, I mean, Jay Sherman is a critic. He's a film critic.
He's a movie critic.
The humor in this show comes from one of 3 places, right? It's the parody of the movies that he's reviewing, the fact that he's overweight and constantly eating. So there's lots of fat jokes and, body humor stuff.
Sure.
And then the fact that he's just kind of a doofus and bad with women.
Yeah.
And which not really, I mean, he ends up.
And you say it like that. And all of these things you've stated are accurate, but there's a lot of heart here. And he's overweight, but like I don't know.
The thing about this show that really got me too is that, like, I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm just not a huge fan of John Lovitz.
No, I really don't care for him usually.
He's fine.
I love him as Jay Sherman.
He's never been a reason I've watched something. He's never been like one of those people on the top of my head whenever I'm thinking of comedians I love or actors I love. But that being said, Jay Sherman is perfect for John Lovitz.
Yes, he's perfect.
And it really does kind of suck because I've never thought John Lovitz was really all that good of an actor. And maybe that's why he just never crosses my radar. He's never on my mind, really. But when he is playing Jay, like you mentioned, he does bring a lot of humanity to this character in ways that are just really touching.
Yes.
And you do feel bad for him. You do feel good for him when he finally does like succeed at something.
Yeah, sure.
Or whenever he overcomes something.
I mean, but at the same time, like, he's overweight, he's balding, he's all of these, he's short, he's all of these things, but he also has that John Lovitz ego. The kind of like,
yes, the ego for no reason.
This should combine to create an absolutely unlikable character.
Yes, this should not work.
It does.
It shouldn't work, but it does. And, a lot of this series is resting on his shoulders. But aside from that, like, this entire cast is phenomenal at what they're doing.
Yeah.
You got Nancy Cara, Charles Napier is Duke Phillips, who is my favorite character in this entire series.
Duke Phillips is everything.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about a specific episode because I have a lot to say. But just kind of to give you an idea of where we were in the world at this point in time, The Simpsons were really the only primetime animated series.
Right.
That was any kind of success.
Yeah, I think definitely at that point it was still like cartoons were for kids on Saturday morning.
Right. Now the Flintstones were the first primetime animated show, and it was very successful. But I'm talking about before. At this point in time, The Simpsons were like, that was it. You know,
this is before South Park, way before Family Guy.
Right. And
stuff like that.
the appeal of this show to me was the fact that there was 2 animated shows that I can now watch on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, whenever the fuck it came on. But so yeah, the fact that this was an animated show is absolutely what got me to watch it. Like I didn't really know anything about from the producers of The Simpsons. Okay, well that I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know who John Lovitz was at this point. I didn't know who Charles Napier or Nancy Cartwright were.
He'd already been on SNL, I think. But he wasn't a big part of that either.
But I was just so young that I didn't have the knowledge that I have now.
I certainly didn't know who John Lovitz
the database of actors and films in my head that I have today.
That pushed out all the important information.
Yes. Yeah. I can't do math, but I know who John Lovitz is. Thank God. But
thank God.
yes, that was definitely the appeal of this show to me, was the fact that it was just another primetime cartoon and you just didn't get that.
Right.
Now, Fox changed that pretty quickly, especially by 1997 when King of the Hill came out.
Oh, yeah.
And then their Sunday night lineup was just all animation. And, as of now, we're just we're spoiled by things like that because of Fox.
Sure.
Fox has been, let's just say it, they're known for their animated blocks on Sunday night.
Yeah, sure.
At least for the past 20, 25 years, that's been
I don't know what the fuck they do anymore. Right. I have no idea.
But
back in the day, yes. I can attest. Yeah.
I definitely think that The Simpsons had a lot to do with any success this show saw, and it got canned, so I can't imagine it was much.
Well, I mean, I would say it probably was a big draw to get people to check it out, but
give it a shot, And again, the fact that it was animated in a time when animation was not oversaturating your evenings. This was also right around the time when Cartoon Network was becoming big.
In 93, 94?
94, 95, that was when they started getting their original programs.
Well, Nicktoons were real big.
Right. Cartoon Network was no longer just doing old Hanna-Barbera reruns. They were doing Space Ghost. They were doing, God, I don't know if they were at C-Lab at this point or anything. But yes, that was another thing. Cartoons were becoming a thing.
Yeah.
For nighttime viewing. And late night, especially for stoners and just college kids and people who were up drinking. I was one of those people.
In 95?
No, that wasn't until
I don't think so.
2000s. But the vast amount of humor from this show are coming from those 3 areas, but it's mostly because he's a film critic and they do poke fun at the fact that film critics are just really not, unless you were Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah. Who are in the show.
Yeah. Or Leonard Maltin.
Yeah. Gene Shalit, who plays a prominent role from time to time.
Right. And if you weren't one of those guys, you were just not taken seriously.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I picked this show in particular to kick off season 3 here is the fact that he does pretty much what we do. On this podcast. He's just a critic. He's a film critic, and that's what we do here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So today, that's kind of why I say it's a little ahead of its time, because I think this series would have at least gotten 5 or 6 seasons had it come out today.
Probably.
Because everyone's a critic. Everybody with a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog of some kind, we're all critics. Yes.
Anybody?
So I think that this concept could work today. I don't know if they need to bring this back because they tried with the webisodes that we're going to talk about.
Just let it be what it is, because these 2 seasons are quite good.
Right. But again, it's just one of those series that was ahead of its time while also being this perfect time capsule of the time.
Well, and I think it's a good first episode to do for animation also because Hollywood and movie critics and stuff in general, yes, there are the movie parodies and there are the movies he reviews, although his reviews are basically a 1-liner or 2-liner, and then that's the end of the episode.
They're very quick.
But they really do go into it lampoons very specifically a lot of different aspects of Hollywood and show business and all of that.
Right.
In a very smart way that we were going through and watching this again, obviously in preparation for this over the last week. Yeah, there were several moments where something happens or something, or they say, or it's, it's that kind of lampooning of a specific celebrity, or how things work in Hollywood and all of that. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yes.
You know? So, and that is something else you didn't really see a whole lot at the time as far as like.
Besides like a comedy roast or something.
Yeah.
You didn't really make fun of Hollywood back then.
Not nearly
and stay
as much.
relevant.
No. And I mean, The Simpsons do that a little bit from time to time back then.
Yeah,
but
South
not
Park
to
definitely
this
did.
level. Well, yes, but this is a few years before South Park. Or a couple of years.
South Park was more mean-spirited, where the Critic is more just like a roast or just like a...
Right. Well, yeah, it's not a loving tribute to Hollywood at all, but it is... It's a softer, probably because it's not... well, okay, I guess technically it was briefly on Comedy Central. They re-showed. But when I say it wasn't on Comedy Central, I mean, like, it wasn't made for cable TV. It was made for network
Right,
television.
they just syndicated it long after it was canceled.
Softer than, like, South Park.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And
sure.
Yeah, and you're right. It's because it was made for network and not cable, obviously. But I don't think that they would have went there anyway.
No,
like South
it doesn't
Park
really
did.
fit this show.
No, it does not.
But yeah, like you said, the supporting cast of characters is every bit as important as Jay. And we talked about Duke. We talked. I mean, but his
Maurice
family,
LaMarche is in this, who he's been a voice
Chuck
actor
McNeil
for
is in
a very long time.
A lot of the episodes.
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
Yeah, sure. But his family is very interesting, and even his makeup lady Doris is a wonderful, like, well-rounded character, and I like the episodes where you get to learn more about Duke's life away from the show, or Doris and what she's been through in her life.
Yeah.
Or there's a whole episode dedicated to his sister when a rock star moves in next door. So there's not that many episodes of this show. It's what, like 26 episodes or something?
So yeah, it's
23.
23. Yeah, 23 episodes.
And yet you really get to know all these people.
Yeah, they
And
are fully realized characters by the end of it.
It's not just gags and parodies and all of that. There's heart to it, like we said.
No, and there are some very look, the jokes in this show too are very polarized, because you have like the low hanging, easy, lame ass jokes, but then there are some that are just incredibly like nuanced and actually pretty refined and good, and maybe even a little too good for a show that just was on network TV. Well,
and sometimes they're just little brief one-liners that are not even really commented on, that you have to like pick up and catch, and they're gone in a flash, and you're like, oh dang.
Right. And it's those sophisticated jokes that kind of take you by surprise that me and you we quote all the time around the house. Because it does take you by surprise. And I think that it does because you're getting mostly kind of low-hanging lane jokes, like I mentioned, and then all of a sudden you get this like banger out of nowhere that just takes you by surprise, because you're just not expecting this show to have that type of quality.
It's smart
in the writing.
Even though it's dumb, it's smart.
Yeah, it's
I like the balance.
It's smart, stupid, smart, dumb. It's
and
like
no one is safe. It pokes fun at all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Everyone's their own different kind of stereotype in a way. And I don't mean that in like a bad way or a racist way or anything like that. But I mean, like, Duke is a Southern millionaire, he's
Ted Turner. He's a parody of Ted Turner. He owns the studio that Jay's show is on.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like he said, he is definitely just a Southern gentleman, and almost like he's like a millionaire bumpkin.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
We're the bears who say
Yes.
or
so
his lunch order, so like.
And he's always, he has the best lines in the show, hands down.
He's my favorite.
He's the one that does those take you by surprise, like smart, nuanced jokes, because you don't expect it to come out of him. Like whenever he meets the Pope, he's like, "Hey, John Paul, where's George Ringo?" And
he just has this really. For the most part, unless you're Jay, because he intimidates Jay quite often, but he has this really approachable, it's that Southern charm type thing.
Yes.
And yet again, he's a multi-millionaire, and he always gets his way.
Right.
He is in charge, but it's this, like I said, it's this balance, and you're kind of.
And even if he doesn't, like the episode where they're playing, was it Scrabble?
Oh, yeah.
And he comes up with Quizabuck, and they're like, that isn't a word. So he calls Webster's dictionary and makes it a word.
Hello, Webster's. How much to make Quizabuck a word?
And that scene is actually in one of my the
Hell yeah.
hands
the
down
best
my
episode.
favorite, and I do believe
100%.
best episode of the entire series. And we
Yes.
can go ahead and talk about that.
That 90% of our quotes come from
Yes.
Dr. J.
I will say this. There's an episode. It is season 1, episode 10, I believe. It's called Dr. J,
Yeah.
is what we're referring to. And this
So
is
good. Holy shit.
this is a masterclass in writing because there is not a single wasted anything in this. There's no wasted jokes. There's no wasted dialogue. There's no downtime. It is constantly moving.
It's packed, but doesn't feel crowded.
No, not at all. And when you're done watching it, you just like, wow, that was incredibly well done.
Yeah.
And every single joke in that episode just lands time after time.
Yeah.
It does callbacks in the same episode.
I was going to say, and they do the callbacks so well.
Yes, and it says it
In this
comes in
episode
naturally,
and in this show. Yeah.
and it doesn't seem forced or anything
Right.
like that. And like, just go watch this episode
Got a
because
whole 3-act structure.
anybody, if you have any interest in learning how to write sitcoms or just anything really, go watch this episode because it is incredibly well done.
Yeah, it is. It's god damn, it's funny.
And yes, you're not wrong. It is where 90% of our quotes from this series come from.
Because I can't tell you, many times a year, I'm like, oh, what a Duke catastrophe. Like,
Yeah.
something.
Well,
will
the
come
whole
up.
setup for that episode in particular is that Duke has a heart attack.
Yeah.
He goes to see the doctor and they tell him that he has a rare form of some kind of heart ailment, right? Illness.
Right.
And they refer to it as Duke Phillips disease.
Of course.
And he's kind of given up on life. He's depressed. Even with all his money, there's nothing that he can do about it. And Jay is like, look, man, I'm going to find the cure for your disease. But the setup here is that Duke he owns the television station.
Yeah.
So he's creating basically an AI program that will bring celebrities back to life. Not literally,
And
but
this is one of the prophetic fucking things.
Yes.
And change it. And
something very, very prominent today with AI. So he's developed this. He's calling it Phillips Vision.
Yeah,
I think is what it
yes.
is. And he basically is using it to shoehorn celebrities into TV shows and movies to hawk products,
or to change things.
change
that
the
you
endings
don't
of
like.
movies. Yes, things like that. And Jay is 100% against this.
Of course he is.
Because at the heart of who he is, he does have some kind of like,
He has integrity.
yeah, he has integrity.
Yeah.
And he does love movies, and he really does
to his
hate bad
detriment
movies.
sometimes, because there's been many times where Duke wants him to hawk a product or say a movie is good or bad, and he's like, "No, I will not." That's my
Yeah.
Jay Sherman impression. It's
And
really good.
Jay is not having it. They get
No.
into an argument, and that's when Duke has his heart attack,
Yeah.
and then finds out that he has,
Duke Phillips
a
disease.
rare form of heart
Who would have
disease.
seen that coming?
Yeah, and then so Jay goes on a mission to find the cure, which he does. He saves his life, and then at the end of it all, he's like, "Since you saved my life, I'm your genie. Make a wish." And Jay's like, "You got to get rid of that Phillips Vision.
Yep.
You got to get rid of it. I don't like it. You don't need to change the ending of these movies." And so yeah, it's incredibly
Last word
well
to
done,
be
start to
schwing.
finish. It is bookended perfectly. Like I said, every single joke in that episode lands. It lands hard. There are callbacks to its self from earlier in the episode, and it is just a blast to watch. And I will watch it any time. And I think a lot of people, writers especially, could learn a lot from that episode and get a lot out of it. You could teach classes, entire college class on writing with that episode alone. So we broke down like the dynamic here because the major characters of this show are Jay, Duke, Doris, the makeup lady. Later on in the show,
Their family, his family too.
yeah, his mom and dad are extremely rich. He's adopted.
He is
He has
adopted.
a sister Margot who is their biological daughter.
And they've got a
Who's-
butler.
Yeah, they've got a butler and all that, and his dad is kind of like a Hugh Hefner type that just kind of he's a little loopy.
He
and
is extremely interesting.
he is very interesting, but he's constantly drinking. He always
Yeah.
has like a glass of like Jack on the
Or
Rocks or
bourbon.
something,
Yeah.
and he just kind of does these like
Wacky fucking things, man. He
Yeah, they're
glues
just-
the silverware to the ceiling, and he's like, "Okay, right."
yeah, they're just these one-line non sequitur,
Yeah.
nothing throwaway jokes, but some of them are funny, some of them are just kind of like whatever.
No, yeah.
But his mother just kind of is
His mother
Old-
is the ultimate, like wasp.
the ultimate debutante.
Sure. Yes,
you know,
from, like,
she's
the
very
40s or 50s
poised.
when
She expects manners.
Mhm.
She's bought into this whole
very
idea of being
confident.
wealthy and what it means to be wealthy. And she kind of sees it as that they have this duty to like uphold the
Yeah.
integrity of royalty.
Mhm, and to be aspirational to others.
yeah,
You know,
and
that
wealth.
whole thing. Yeah.
And they kind of don't tolerate lower class things. They seem to be very conservative, at least the mother.
Yeah, I think his dad is just off in his own dimension most
Yeah.
of the time.
But she is very quick to pick up a gun and aim it at your face, and she will pull the trigger if you don't do what she wants.
Oh, yeah, no, the length she goes to get Margot to go to the fucking debutante ball. She's
Yes.
like, you can go or I'll kill your horse.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up.
Yes.
And yeah, she wasn't joking. She doesn't bluff.
No, not at all.
No.
Later on, I think it's the first episode in season 2. You know, that's when you meet Alice and her daughter. And
Her daughter, Penny.
Penny.
I
Penny's
love
very
their
cute.
accents.
Yeah, they're both very Southern as well.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of a down on her luck single mom
Mhm.
whose husband was cheating on her. He was apparently some kind of like country Western
he was a
singer.
country singer. Yeah.
So he was just like a hot, big name in country. And then he cheated on her a whole lot and she divorced him. And he keeps trying to get back with her. And then she meets Jay and Jay teaches her she could do better.
Yeah, he's like, it might not be me you end up with, but it should not be him.
Right.
Like, you're great. You don't need this shit. Don't quit putting yourself through this. And
Yeah,
she's
and-
like, you know what? Thank you.
So by season 2, you're getting a very, I wouldn't say very different series, but it is different. The animation's
It's
different. The
different.
dynamics are different because
Yeah.
now Jay has like a love interest.
Which
that
is
it-
fine.
Yeah.
But there's some episodes when like they're tempted by others that irritates me, but that always irritates me in shows, like the fucking episode of The Simpsons with that dumbass, like, I can't remember her name. It's obviously like a Jolene. Her name may even be Jolene.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're
when
talking
he's
about.
yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, there's been several times where, because even Michelle Pfeiffer played his coworker in another one where he was like tempted to date her.
yeah, and I don't like
divorce
that.
Marge. So
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But because there's also Jeremy Hawk, who's like an Australian actor who's Jay's friend, and his sister comes into town, and Jay just completely loses his mind, and then has to decide who he loves. And I'm like, if you don't fucking know, then the answer is neither, and you need to leave them alone. But
Yeah.
whatever. My issue with season 2, and I love season 2. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good moments. But there is a marked change in the animation style, and it's almost more Simpson-y in the way that like his face is rounder,
his pupils are a little
bigger.
bigger, which is weird.
I like the season 1 look better. I do think season 2 isn't quite as strong.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that.
But it has good moments.
Yeah. Every episode has something to enjoy in it. I know that there are definitely like 2 or 3 in the entire series that they're just not all that memorable, but the ones that are really are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of the biggest problems that this show had trying to find an audience is that, like, who is this really for? This is for the type of person that was in the checkout lines at the stores buying National Enquirer.
You think so?
Yeah, I just don't know that the concept of film critic was really all that
Well, I think it's a
relatable
matter-
to just your average person.
Well, I don't know. I think everybody's a critic, right? That's the saying. I think it's more along the lines of it was ahead of its time.
Exactly.
It would have done better 5 years later.
I agree. I think it would have done better in that heyday era of Fox where they did the animation domination, blocks on Sunday night.
Yeah.
It probably would have fit in better there.
Because, I mean, the concept for the show, in theory, could go on forever. There's always new movies that you
Yes.
can lampoon and spoof
Right.
and parody. So inherently, that's a forever just gold mine.
Well, and even going back and watching it now, you realize how many movies that they're making fun of franchises that are still going. Your
Yeah.
Jurassic Parks, your Ghostbusters, Alien, things of that nature. Like you're going to recognize these movies. These
Sure.
are not like, these are high blockbuster movies that they are making fun of, very well-known movies. I don't think there were any like low budget independent films that they were referencing in this at all. And most of the humor comes from the fact that the movie reviews are always like mashups of something, right?
Yeah, sure.
You've got Crocodile Gandhi. Mm-hmm. You've got Dennis the Menace to Society.
It is spoofs and takes and mashups of different things. But it's also not really even the focus of the show. Like I said, like these things are small, little quick scene or two.
The show itself, like coming attractions, the show within the show, right? Mm-hmm. It's very much used like Tool Time is on Home Improvement, where it's just kind of like a segue into what's actually going on here, which is the dynamics of Jay Sherman's day-to-day life.
Right.
He's a single father. He's got a son, Marty, who is just kind of like him, right?
Yeah,
he's just a curly-haired, chubby, short kid who's just trying to figure out like who he is in life. Yeah, he is. He's a very sweet kid. And like they have a dynamic that is very charming and sweet too, because they understand each other.
Yeah.
And it does seem like, for all that Jay's ex-wife is this bitter, heartless, like whatever of a woman.
What did he do to her?
I don't know, because he seems to be a really good father. He's always there.
Just because he's a good father does not mean he was a good husband.
Marty is always with Jay. He is never with his ex-wife.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of episodes Marty isn't even in. I think they share custody.
I guess, but he seems to like Jay, being around Jay a lot more than his mom.
Maybe. He doesn't really talk about his mom.
I don't think they have dialogue together.
I don't think they do. They're sometimes standing, like when they go off to fat camp or whatever.
Yeah.
She's there, but she and Marty don't really talk, but that doesn't mean that they don't. We don't know what their relationship is.
Right.
But I know she is the bitterest person in creation when it comes to
you
Jay.
Absolutely know the dynamic between her and Jay, especially when he's doing the cutaway, remembering his wedding day, and they just got through saying "I do," and she's already regretting it. It's that type of relationship. Yeah. She is just like, I don't know
they don't really flesh her out much at all. She
is one-dimensional as hell.
The extremely stereotypical bitter ex-wife.
Right. And then she kind of goes away once Alice comes into the picture. By season 2. They kind of just don't even...
Yeah, they meet because she tries to hex her. And he threatens her with legal action or something. And then I don't know if we see her again.
I don't think you do.
I don't know that we do.
I don't think like the last 5 episodes she isn't in at all.
But that's fine. She was just a bit player anyways.
Yeah. And I mean there's also like episodes where Barney the dinosaur was kind of big at this point in time too. So there's what is it?
Henry the
Hippo or Humphrey the Hippo or something.
Humphrey,
so that's a parody of Barney. And Jay and her wind up dating for a little bit. Even though he hates the hippo, but then he falls in love with the woman in the costume.
The woman with him.
And then he finds out that she's the hippo.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very much situational comedy. And I think that this is something that you should watch. We have the DVDs box sets. I don't know where you would find this streaming.
I don't know.
I doubt it's on Hulu or anything like that. But,
I don't know.
And it's a Fox show anyway, so it'd probably be on Disney Plus, and I doubt it's on there.
It says you can stream The Critic on services like Starz, Hulu, and the Roku channel, while it can be rented or purchased on platforms such as Amazon Video, Apple TV, and Fandango at home.
I would do yourself a favor and just go buy the box set on DVD, because you could probably get that for $10 and just be done with it. But the DVD box set also includes the webisodes that came out in 2000, which we can talk about briefly, because I don't think that there's ever been more of a waste of time or effort.
Until we were going to do this episode of the podcast, I didn't know they existed. And they've been on the box set that we've had for 20 years or something.
Yeah, they're in the bonus features.
But I never watched them. I didn't know they existed. And I was a happier me before. We watched them just before recording, and I was left going, God, I hope I enjoy.
Well, first of all, we can start with the fact that it didn't have a budget. So basically, any of the voice cast that came back for this was doing it out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah, I think it was just
and a lot of them
John
did not
Lovitz and
return.
Maurice LaMarche and yeah, most of the characters we know aren't in it.
Right. Jay now has a new makeup lady who's like 21 years old.
Yeah.
He immediately, within the first like 3 seconds of the first episode, he's already hitting on her, and she's just like, maybe. And the whole thing is just him trying to sleep with her.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes. They're like 3 minutes each.
Yes.
And yet it seemed like it took fucking
And it's
forever
done
to
with
get
the
through them.
worst flash animation that goes by at 5 frames a second.
Yes, that's anytime you move, it's clear there's no in between frames. I don't know if that's like the correct terminology, but it's jerky.
It's
weird.
hard to watch. It's not funny.
Not funny.
And it's referencing movies that sadly are not even as memorable as the ones that they were parodying back in 94.
They brought up lots of movies, but the parodies that they did weren't funny.
No,
It wasn't.
Even the voice
and
acting
most
in
of
it was bad.
John Lovitz was fine as Jay. He sounded like Jay. He acted like Jay, but
the voice impersonations were awful.
they're also, I just said he acted like Jay, but I don't know that he did. Jay's like gross.
In the
sometimes
webisodes, he
in the
just comes off
webisodes.
as just like this Leisure Suit Larry kind of just horny all the time sleazeball who's just trying his hardest to sleep with this poor young girl who's his makeup lady and somehow tricks her into like dating him.
But I don't know if he tricked her, but because like he says and does things all the time that make her upset or angry.
They have no chemistry.
No. There's weird little one-off throwaway jokes, like suddenly she has like 8 kids in a room and she's like, here's my kids. And he's like, okay. And he also talks to the fucking camera, which I hate.
Yeah. And
because it's not like he's on Coming Attractions in that. He's in her apartment. He should not be on camera. He shouldn't be talking to us. He's
exactly.
like, what should we do, internet?
Yeah, they tried to do this like mockumentary, like Office type thing.
She talks to the camera at one point.
Yes, they break the fourth wall. But then on top of it all, it's like, he looks like John Lovitz and she looks like somebody that would be in a WB show.
Yeah.
In the late 90s.
Sure.
Short hair, blonde, pretty, big boobs, and petite and young, and I just don't buy them as a couple at all.
Well, because again, like the looks differential doesn't really mean anything because he got with lots of beautiful women in the original show, but there was a reason for each and every one of them. There was a starlet who wanted him to give her movie a good review. There was Jeremy's twin sister who her whole thing was she needed a man who needed her to take care of him.
Yeah.
And so she saw this sweet, pathetic man and was like, oh, hell yeah. So that makes sense. This is just the makeup lady. I guess Doris fucking died or something. I don't know.
They don't even mention her.
And Alice is gone too. He makes a brief reference to a second divorce settlement. So I guess he got married to Alice and divorced. And well, there goes that.
For what it's worth, it was not well done.
It's really contrived and just blech.
Duke Phillips isn't in it.
No.
Like, Jay is really the only character I think that comes back. They don't have Marty in it.
Nope.
Alice is gone.
No family.
Doris is gone. Yeah, even his ex-wife isn't in it. Like, I don't know.
Not his parents, not Margot.
Yeah, none of the charm or anything interesting from the series itself has carried over into this web series.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they did it. It does not work in a 3-minute short form thing because it's got to have a setup, a payoff, and in between they have to do movie reviews and things like that, and everything just feels so like off and strange and just weirdly paced.
Really did not enjoy the webisodes.
No, not at all. And I mean, if you buy the DVD box set, watch it, but I wouldn't looking for this online or anything.
I would not waste your time. If you like the show, seriously, just don't bother.
Only watch it if you want to see how bad it actually is, because we're not even doing it justice on how bad it actually is.
Ugh.
It's one of the worst things I think I've seen in animated form.
Well, I would say it's one of the worst follow-ups I've seen to something that I liked.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree.
Like, fucking why?
But the Critic as a whole, like, I mean, you're going to get a lot out of this that you were going to get out of, most shows of the time. It was It was vulgar, but it wasn't over the top.
Nah.
You know, it was tame because they had to keep it PG.
94 vulgar, which is like nothing.
Right. You're definitely going to get those moments of, you know, those touching moments that you would get from like maybe a Full House or something like that. They're brief, but they're in there. Mostly you're getting comedy that is based around just poking fun at this man who has a very strange life
or
outside
really
of his
smart
job.
satire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot
combination.
There are a lot of really good jokes in this series as a whole, and then that Dr. J episode is just incredible start to finish.
A fucking banger.
Yeah. Out of what? Scale of 1 to 10, this is easily like a 7.5.
Overall?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's up there.
Because of Dr. J, really.
Yeah, it's
really
definitely above middle of the road. It's
sure.
going to surprise you with a few smart, clever jokes. It's also not going to surprise you with some low-hanging, easy-to-get jokes from a show like this.
Hey, man, on this season of the podcast, we're going to be going over some shit that goes over, that really goes into some low-hanging fruit. But you know what? We still laugh.
Yeah.
So.
We do have a lot of episodes for you guys this season that are, you know, there's going to be some heavy hitters that are going to be obvious that we're going to do when it comes to animation. There will be some surprises in there because I was a little fucking weird kid with the shit that I watched when I was young. Like, and I think we've got look for those things.
Mix of like really well known, less known, lots of different flavors.
Yeah. And the finale is going to be like the most obvious of obvious that you could possibly ever think that you would do on a series talking about animation.
Yeah.
So with that, what do you say? Watch it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch this
Not
series.
the webisodes.
Well, we can call it an episode, I guess. Jess, where can people find you?
I'm Jess Moon. You can find me at JHL Moon on Twitter, mainly. And then I do run a publishing house. It's called Shadow Spark Publishing, and you can find us at shadowsparkpub.com and at shadowsparkpub on pretty much any social you can think of aside from TikTok, because no. So yeah, we've got fantasy, horror, romance, sci-fi, new releases pretty much every month from a few dozen authors who are really awesome. So if you're into good reading, check us out.
Now you can find me. I'm on Instagram at Chad J Moon. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at The Pretty Little Podcast. We've got the YouTube channel at youtube.com/@theprettylittlepodcast 69420. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for downloading. I'm very happy with the way that the show is going and the direction it's headed. I enjoy interacting with you guys on Instagram. Shoot us a message. You know, we'll answer your questions, anything. If you have recommendations, we're always willing to take recommendations as well.
Yeah. And get hyped for season 3, y'all. Animation. What?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You know, the Critic is just the start. We've got a lot of things that we are,
hell yeah.
That, at least me, like I'm really excited to go back and watch some of these old things. No, that's the thing.
I'm really excited about several different things that we're going to be going over because we get to watch them. So we can talk about it.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
What an excuse. Yes.
And it's a perfect time because there's absolutely fuck all to watch anymore. So, all right. Till we see you next time, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.